The research question, place and meaning. How does reportage illustration provide a platform for the everyday experience? Discussed in relation to three artists. This theme of place and meaning is extensive. The focus in this context is the experience of everyday places and how we use it and are part of it. Looking at a selection of key theorists on human geography, this inquiry highlights some of the ideas on place and how that can be applied to contemporary reportage illustration using three artists as examples. For the discussion, the inquiry will begin by discussing place and placelessness. Key geographers will be discussed here and investigated in terms of humanistic geography. Seminal texts include Edward Relf's Place and Placelessness, with hugely influential ideas on place that continues to inspire today. Following from this, the idea of the flaneur is explored, and Discourse Walking the City, which will discuss how ordinary practitioners can step off the formal roadways made by big institutions and city planners and make their own unique personal pathways. From this, an examination of the term psychogeography is outlined. It explains this concept as an approach to geography that emphasises playfulness and drifting around in urban environments. Essentially, psychogeography is the point where psychology and geography meet in assessing the emotional and behavioural impact of the urban space and on its inhabitants. It provides new ways of understanding the environment, transforming familiar streets of the everyday experience into something new and unexpected. This inquiry will outline the role and purpose of contemporary reportage illustration and provide an in-depth analysis of three selected reportage images. Guiding research questions include: how is the idea of being in the world displayed in reportage drawing? Also, human geography deals with meaning, value and human significance of life events. What parallels of this approach are shown in reportage illustration? And also, humanistic geography endeavours to interpret the landscape as a medium of symbolic meaning. How can this be applied to reportage illustration? Theoretical framework. Reportage employs empirical methods to study, learn and interact with places. This idea is supported in John Dewey's seminal work, Art as Experience. Here he describes as art in its form unites the very same relation of doing and underdoing, outgoing and incoming energy that makes an experience to be an experience. This aesthetic can pertain to reportage illustration. Essentially, this inquiry builds on this idea by investigating the artist's first-hand experience with place. Proposed methodologies. In the Dictionary of Human Geography, sense of place is defined as the attitudes and feelings that individuals and groups hold vis-à-vis the geographical areas in which they live. It further commonly suggests intimate personal and emotional relationships between self and place. This inquiry investigates this idea of sense of place, employing a humanistic approach. Humanistic geography studies human awareness and human interaction, human consciousness and human creativity. It deals with the meaning, value and human significance of life events. In the humanist frame, the intent is to understand and recognise the dignity and humanity of the individual. Key to this field is an attempt to understand the human world by studying people's relation to it. Examples of art to be analysed. To look at reportage illustration through a humanistic framework, it is important first to give an outline of contemporary reportage. In understanding illustration, it is described as the visual recording of an ongoing or contained situation, event or view of the human condition, often across a series of images illuminating what is being depicted. It can offer a unique perspective on events and situations, providing a distinct sense of place evident in the examples here. In making this selection of these three reportage pieces, the aim was to show how this medium connects the viewer with the sense of spaces of everyday life. Looked at here is the work of Oliver Kugler, Market Value, of a Belgian flea market. This is a non-linear narrative, including annotations and diagrammatic content. Also is Lucinda Rogers' As Not Seen, which provides a real insight into ground zero at a time when photography was hardly permitted. In addition, Tim King's piece From a Drawing a Day captures real-life experiential account of a dramatic football celebration. They all succeed in evoking a distinct sense of place, the relationship people have with it and their connections and relationships with each other. Clearly, these images show how reportage reportage illustration can provide a solid platform for the everyday experience. Relating to my own practice, reportage is an intrinsic part of my illustration practice, so ideas explored in this inquiry have helped inform this. I find that learning about the concepts of place and meaning, that my own work has focused more on the experience of place and how to visually communicate that through drawing. Key sources for this inquiry will include seminal texts by leading humanist geographers. Additional important texts discussing the concept of the flaneur will be included. Also will be texts on the concept of psychogeography. Other sources will include significant texts from academic journals like the Journal of Environmental Psychology, Past and Present, and the Journal of Media Practice. In relation to reportage illustration, sources will include Varoom Lab, an understanding illustration, and Alan Mayle's illustration, a theoretical and contextual perspective.